This episode of Nerds on Tap is sponsored by Nelson and Murdoch, attorneys at law.
Last year, my house was destroyed during a fight between Daredevil and some other goon. Luckily, I found a business card for Nelson and Murdoch, right there in all the rubble.
I was caught in a shootout when the police tried to take Daredevil down. Took 2 bullets right to the chest. Before I hit the ground, Nelson and Murdoch were there, ready to help me sue the city.
I just got stabbed in the leg by some pissed off broad in a bandana chasing after Daredevil. And when you know it, Nelson and Murdoch just showed up with the paperwork all filled out.
We're Nelson and Murdoch, and we want to defend you. Remember, justice may be blind, but only one of us is.
I want you to get me a fresh beer. You serious?
Hello and welcome to Nerds on Tap, the only podcast that doesn't mind taking a hit to our stamina regen if it means getting down a few delicious bottles of Blackbriar mead. I'm Joseph.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jim. Oh no.
Fuck you, I'm Chris.
I'm
We
Jim.
started this episode off really well already.
Every time.
Do you want to start over or just keep going?
Just keep going. We always embrace our
Perfect.
mistakes.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is a show where we drink beer and talk about nerdy things. Every once in a while, instead of drinking by ourselves and ending the night in tears, we pull up a fourth chair to chat it up with the guest, forcing them to end the night in tears. Chris, pass it over to you to introduce our guest this week.
All right. So with us is Myles from the More You Nerd podcast. Hello, Myles.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Hey,
good.
what's up?
Awkward salutations.
So, Myles, we usually when we have a guest on, we ask them what makes you a nerd, and we usually just kind of define that as just anything that you're passionate about. But I mean,
Yeah.
I kind of know you from listening to the show, so I know there's all kinds of things that you're nerdy about. So.
Yeah, I'm kind of a pop culture vulture, so I'm really passionate about a lot of things. But I define nerd the same way. But you know, the typical video games, comics, movies, board games, music, television, books, kind of everything.
But yeah, you pretty much named every medium.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of like entertainment media. So
Right. So tell us about your podcast that you do and who you do it with.
And do.
Yes, we do a lot. The More You Nerd is a podcast that is, to use our catchphrase, dedicated to expanding your nerd horizons. Because the idea is that nerd culture tends to be a little closed-minded sometimes when it comes to nerdy topics. Like if I wanted to check out, for example, Daredevil, I'd have 10 people telling me that Daredevil sucks. I'd have 10 people telling me to read only this story, and 10 people telling me to read something else because everything's great. So what we do is we take listener-submitted challenges for something that they love, and no matter what it is, give it an open shot. Whether it's something that we have a preconceived notion about or not, we go into everything with an open mind and try to look at it from the lens of someone who does like it. There have been very, very few times that we have walked away from something where we couldn't really take much out of. So the whole idea is to kind of give a more of a positive light to nerd culture.
Awesome.
We also every other week have guests on, so like we'll have like I think we recently had Max Temkin from Cars Against Humanity or Jim Butcher, who writes the Dresden Files books.
Right.
So we also talk about people who are kind of contributing to nerd culture as well. Basically, just it's a nerd conversation show that we try to be very inclusive about.
Awesome. Yeah, I thought that was really cool that you guys had Jim Butcher on. I haven't read the Dresden books, but I've read one of his other series, the Codex Alera series, which is really awesome. I love that. So that's pretty cool. That's
Codex Alera, you will love the Dresden Files.
awesome. I'm kind of like surprised that he had time to like do anything. Like, how did you work that out?
Patrick, okay, I do it with two of my friends, Patrick and Drew. We went to college together, and Patrick just shot in the dark, emailed him, and he happened to have an open slot and said yes. Like that's all it was. I mean, sometimes it's just like showing up.
Awesome.
And so I think his assistant had either heard our show or knew someone who had heard our show and asked them about it. But I mean, we just basically got in contact with him, and yeah, he's super busy. Like even on the show, he's talking about how he's finishing up this book that's coming out in September, and he's working on the next Dresden book, and working on the next, I think, Codex Alera book as well. Like he's editing a short story compilation. So
Jesus,
like yeah, the man doesn't stop.
it's a lot of stuff.
There's 15 Dresden File books out since like what 2001, I think.
Yeah.
Geez, I can barely handle doing this show.
Right?
I can't even write a sentence apparently, so I'm writing all those books. So you said that you guys have rarely had a challenge where you didn't walk away with something, like taking something from it. So what's an example of one challenge that you guys did and it just didn't connect with you guys? Or
That's a good question, because I'm trying to remember because I think it was like 2 years ago, and we all walked away and none of us, I mean, we don't go on there to rag anything. You know, even if it's something
there's plenty of that elsewhere. Like,
right?
You could go on any like Facebook group or whatever, and even like fan, like I'll go on like fan websites, and you see, I know people like, oh, this sucks since they did this, and fuck this shit. And, like Ghostbusters right now, I just can't stand Ghostbusters fans right now.
You know, my whole thing is like, be happy we're getting something else. You know,
right?
Like,
exactly.
I'm excited about it because I mean, all those women by themselves are super funny. It's got a decent pedigree behind it, and you know what? It might be awesome because great people have done shitty things, and shitty people have done great things. I mean, Paul W.S. Anderson also did Event Horizon. Like, he may have done every Resident Evil movie, but he also did Event Horizon.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can have, and I don't know how you feel about those movies, but Event Horizon was a really good movie. So, but we try to approach things because our whole thing is someone challenged us to do this, and one of our stipulations is to tell us why you love it. So someone sent us a challenge because they really cared about this. So we don't ever want to bash something because someone put their thought and time to be like, hey, check out this thing I love.
Right.
So we never want to come across that we're just slagging it for no reason. And even if we have a critical problem with it, we try to come off somewhat constructively. I think the only time we've done something is during birthday challenges, we will watch bad movies on purpose.
Right.
So Patrick challenged us to watch the Taiwanese Dragon Ball live action from like 1988.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing because it is awful in all the right ways. And like Mike challenged us to watch The Room, which of course is a bad movie.
Yeah.
But we've had to watch, I mean, I think it was a certain anime or something that it just didn't connect with us. I think we were challenged to watch Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, or read it rather. And that was one where I feel like if I had been 15, I would have really been into it. Right. Because it was really popular when I was 15, and I was into the whole goth subculture. I just kind of didn't read it. And that one didn't connect with the other guys much at all. But they all still had something positive to say about it. So that's kind of how we approach it. We try to, we add our personal opinions, but we also try to look at it from an objective, critical eye.
Right. So you have to, watch what you say sometimes, I'm sure, right? So you
not so much, because, I mean, we're all conscientious people, and I don't feel like any of us are being disingenuous, because we do legitimately, part of the reason we wanted this show is we want to find out why people love the various things that they love, even if it doesn't coincide with something that we typically love.
Right.
Like when we were challenged to watch My Little Pony, I had kind of avoided because the Bernie subculture is kind of,
yeah,
it's got negative connotations, but we watched it, and I mean, it's not a bad show.
It really isn't. Yeah.
No, I mean, I'm not going to go out and buy a Rainbow Dash figure,
right?
But
yeah,
it's a solid show.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
there's a lot to like there. I understand. I get it. There's a lot you can attach yourself to.
Right, and I think it's a good show for kids because, I mean, it actually does, talk a lot about friendship and a lot of the benefits of different relationships. So I thought that was kind of cool. The same way Adventure Time does.
Yeah.
Well, I think Adventure Time is one of the best shows on television right now. So.
Yep.
Yes.
But I think that's one thing. We don't really watch what we say. We just we have two ways of talking about things, because if you listen to certain episodes, you can tell, like, you know, Drew, Pat, or I might feel certain ways about it, but we'll also talk about things very objectively. I get accused for liking everything, so I'm probably... But there have been things I've not liked before, too.
I think I remember an episode where you guys did, it was a Big Bad Beetleborgs, and I think I remember everyone had a rough time with that.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Let's be honest. No one will ever walked away, even kids at the time.
No, man. I hated that show when I was a kid. I was like, this is such a stupid fucking ripoff of Power Rangers.
Yeah, and I will go to bat for Power Rangers every day of the week.
Hell yeah.
Like, I drew the line, I think, at VR Troopers.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, you know what, and Kamen Rider was, you know, whatever, but it was all right.
Yeah, I was pretty indifferent with VR Troopers, but I remember actually watching it enough times that I probably was a fan, more or less, but yeah.
I was the same way. But yeah, Beetleborgs is just something that I think we took as a challenge, and the person who challenged us, it was tongue-in-cheek. They did not expect us to watch that, coming away thinking, oh, this is a childhood masterpiece.
This is totally underrated. Damn those mainstream Power Rangers bringing the spotlight away from Big Bad Beetleborgs.
In a few years, it'll be really cool to go back and watch it. Like, it'll be like the new hipster thing.
All it had going for it was it had the monsters, like that house full of the classic monsters.
Of ghosts, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, okay, you're right. Like, okay, the concept was kind of cool, but the execution was garbage.
Yeah.
So if you gave, like, Steve Niles that gig and put it on, like, an IDW publishing comic, he could probably make that a cool, dark, fucked up thing.
They're actually starting. They're going to start a Power Rangers comic soon.
Yeah.
Boom Studios.
Oh, really?
What?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, Boom Studios is doing it, and it takes place during the Mighty Morphin era.
Yep.
And Boom has been getting some good talent too.
I got like half an erection right now.
Just half?
It was stifled by the Beetleborg talk.
Yeah.
That's true. It's like thinking of a baseball, your grandma, you know?
Right. I'm gonna try that next time. When I'm gonna think about baseball and big bad Beetleborgs.
Big bag Beetleborgs?
Big bag Beetle Wars. What am I talking about?
And then grandma.
Speaking of slurring your words.
Yeah, speaking.
We're all drinking beer. That's a big part of the show, and that's why our show is ridiculous half the time, because we're
half
drinking.
The time, 75
most of the time
to 80%. Yeah,
we did one episode where we didn't drink because it was an apology episode because we fucked up the episode before it and had to crash it.
Oh yeah,
because we had too much to drink that episode and ruined
it. That's not why it got ruined.
That's so part of the
Is this the part where you talk about what beers you're drinking now, or is that?
Yes. Let's talk about what we're drinking. Joseph, you there with the white headphones? What are you drinking, Joseph?
Yeah, I got this beer called Oculto, which is hidden in Spanish, and those little blue things in the back, you can't really see them now, but when it's cold, like they kind of glow, so you've got like blue eyes on this skull.
That's cool.
So it looked pretty sweet. What it is like tequila beer, or it's like beer that was made with like blue agave, like tequila is, and then it was apparently brewed in like tequila barrels. So it's a mix, but it's like a fusion between tequila and beer, minus the actual tequila. They just put everything else tequila-ish around it. It's kind of like a golden yellow. It's like most Mexican beers, like
looks a little darker than like your Corona.
Yeah.
Or Dos Equis.
Yeah, maybe a little bit darker, but it's surprisingly good. I read a little bit about it, like coming into it, because I was like, "What is this?" But it was made by Broken Barrel Brewing, which is just a part of Anheuser-Busch. So it's not like it's not any special like craft beer. Yeah, exactly. It's mainstream beer, but kind of hidden stuff. It got such a bad rap coming into it. Someone said it tasted like feet and garbage. But no, I actually, like, I was expecting on the first drink to not like it, but I actually think it's pretty good. So, yeah, it's obviously not quite tequila, but It's got hints and it's kind of limey, and I love limes, so it's pretty
I would buy
good.
that for the bottle alone. That's
The bottle's pretty. I'm guilty of that. I was at the grocery store the other day, and when you go to Whole Foods, they have that that whole beer thing where you can make your own 6-pack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But there's this one brand, I can't remember who it is, but they have the most metal looking bottles, and it's always stuff like Demon's Head and Warbringer, and these huge these King Diamond looking labels,
That's awesome.
So I'm a sucker for an awesome label.
That's what I did at Kroger's. That's how I got this beer, was put together a little 6-pack, saw the Skull beer, had to grab it, and surprisingly good. So I'd recommend it. Does not taste like feet, I can say that.
Nice.
Doesn't taste like feet.
Who wants to go
The
next?
only reason you know that is because of that sex show you do too.
All right, because I've tasted feet, so I know. It's only 6% alcohol, so it's not obviously not like tequila strong. It's probably like a warm up tequila, I would say,
Okay.
for kids.
For kids.
Put it in your bottles, kids.
Jim, what do you got?
I finally was able to try. This is a kind of a legendary local brewery in Stillwater, which is just kind of up the river and across the way. It's the Lift Bridge.
Oh yeah, I've had that.
Stillwater. This is Crosscut. This is just their pale ale. It starts out pretty like your regular pale ales or whatever. But they add a little more grapefruit peel to kind of cut the bitterness at the end and kind of bring out some of the citrus. So it's pretty good. I enjoy it. But yeah, other than that, kind of your basic pale ale beer. I've been trying to find this, and I finally found someplace that had it without me having to go find it in Stillwater.
That's a really popular one up here. If you're ever looking for something in particular, I can probably send it to you.
What's the percentage? How strong is it?
I think it's just 5.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't say, so it's lower than 5.
Myles, I've seen you drinking a few back there. So what do you got?
It's like picking up multiple bottles.
Gotta get drunk.
I'm almost done this one. Shit.
Highland Oatmeal Porter. They're from Asheville, North Carolina, which is about 40 minutes away from me.
Awesome. I've got
this one.
some friends and family in Asheville.
Oh, nice. Well, have you had Highland before?
No, I haven't. I haven't been out there for probably 10 years, but next time I go, I'm all over it.
This one's obviously their porter. It's a darker beer. It's got chocolate motes in it, so it's a little bit smoother. It's not as stout as a lot of porters are. And I'm a big dark beer fan.
Yeah.
So especially for those who are not really accustomed to drinking dark beer, this is a good one to start off with because it's dark, it's rich, but it's not too powerful. Because a lot of stouts, especially. I think they're local here. They're called Quest Brewery. Their stouts are really, really high, like the 9%, 10%, and they're very, very, I don't want to say bitter, but they're strong.
Right.
This one's, I think, 5.9%. It's very easy to drink, and, also very, very tasty.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a big dark beer fan, too, and my wife just kind of started trying beers, and she doesn't really like the dark ones. I always have her try it. I'm like, you're not going to like this, and she tries it. She goes, ugh. But then I was like, you know what? Try this porter, because it was by Rush River, and we tried it. We tried other Rush Rivers. I'm like, you should try this porter. I think it's right in between, the lighter and the darker. And she did like it. She's like, yeah, this is good. And that was after she finally, we went to a tap room in Minneapolis called Dangerous Man, and I got the coffee stout, and that shit was like
coffee stout.
Oh, it was so good. And she was like, you know what? I actually do like this because she liked the coffee flavor enough that it, cut anything else. But,
and coffee stouts are usually a little smoother, too.
Yeah. This is a good one, too.
I like my beer to look like my coffee, so the darker it is, I'm happier. She might like Hobgoblin.
Oh, yeah. I've had that. That's
Hobgoblin's
really good.
great, yeah.
It's one of my favorite beers, and it's not a difficult dark beer to take in for somebody. It's got toffee and chocolate motes in it, and it's pretty smooth, so... Give it a shot. It's expensive, though.
That was another one of those I got because of the bottle. The Hobgoblin. It has that really uniquely shaped bottle.
Anything from the Witchwood Brewery in England, all their bottles are fucking awesome. I think they had their winter ale was called the Black Witch.
Oh, nice.
And it was cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, anything from them is fantastic.
Cool. I have...
what are you drinking, Chris?
From Big Sky Brewing Company, Summer Honey. got a big bear on it.
Oh.
which
Oh, is that
is why I picked
self-portrait?
it out because I love bears. It's cool. It's from Missoula, Montana. And they also make another beer that I really like called Moose Drool. If anyone's ever had that, it's pretty popular in like the Midwest and up north. So pours really kind of light amber. You can really taste the honey. There's a lot of honey, like a lot of honey.
Is it distractingly sweet or just the honey taste?
The honey taste, but kind of distracting anyway. Not my favorite. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, it's one that like I could probably drink it. I could have a couple of them, but it's probably one I wouldn't like, have a second time. Like, I probably wouldn't buy it a second time. Yeah, I don't know. The honey's just super strong in this one, like a lot more than I thought it would be. So,
like Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm drinking like a honeycomb.
Is it right rumbly in your tumbly?
By the end of the night, probably. Because I had some Chinese earlier too. So.
Oh man.
That's well.
What was the brand on that? The brew house?
It's Big Sky Brewing Company. They do have other stuff that's good. Like I said, Moose Drool is one of my favorite ones. I used to live in Iowa, and
I just can't get past that name, man.
Is it harvested? I don't want it.
Good. Yeah, you know what? The first time I had it was in this bar that I think was called the Blue Moose, and they had a giant moose head hanging off the wall, and right above the tap for this thing for the Moose Drool. So that was kind of cool.
I thought you were about to say that you had the moose head like attached to the tap.
You had to pull this whole moose head to like
like pull by the
antlers. Yeah,
it'd be amazing. Just the antlers. Cool. At least
I probably would try it then.
It's not. That's really good stuff.
I'm almost done my beer already. We haven't even started the show.
Let's start the show. Joseph, what do we do next?
Yeah, now Oh yeah, we talk about random nerdy things, like I kind of said earlier. So Chris finds these nerdy things for us randomly. So Chris, randomly find us a nerdy thing to talk about.
All right, let me find a random nerdy thing. we have a master list, and we have a little program. By program,
super
we have
machine.
We have a spreadsheet,
a supercomputer dedicated to randomizing nerdy topics around the world.
It out on a dot matrix printer.
We actually have to go into the reboot game in order to find our topic.
Yeah,
they're bringing that shit back.
I know. I heard. I'm excited.
They're rebooting reboot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, perfect. Hey, so our topic actually kind of ties into that, sort of, kind of. So our topic is cartoons or anime you would like to see adapted as live action.
Oh shit! I just have the biggest boner.
Oh, all right, I'm down with that.
So who's got one already that they want to bring up?
I feel like Jim's about to piss his pants.
No, it's fine.
Go for it, Jim.
No, you're the guest. We're the host. We're gonna let you
go for it. Go for it. I bequeath my cap to you.
Jim, you're wearing a cool.
You're actually wearing a cap, so.
Yeah.
Earthworm Jim needs to be a live action. I've actually put in a lot of thought about this. Honestly, the only person that could do it right, other than maybe Guillermo del Toro, because let's be honest, having like a full CG Earthworm Jim doesn't work for me. I would want a totally fully animatronic like worm head.
Would you want that or stop motion animation?
Oh shit.
Because think of like Leica Studios who do like Box Trolls and Coraline.
Oh, that's true.
They would do a fucking amazing Earthworm Jim.
Here's the thing: as long as Doug TenNapel is doing all the design, the creator of Earthworm Jim, and it's directed by Rob Schrab. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Rob Schrab's work.
Not by name.
Okay, he worked on Scud the Disposable Assassin, the comic book.
Sold.
Back in the, hi. And then he went on to work on he did a short called Robot Bastard, which his kind of shtick is he makes everything out of like cardboard and paints it, and it's cool. Very like hands-on. Yeah. And so who
do you want to voice Jim?
Yeah.
Me. No, I don't know. I hadn't thought that much, but no, I just thought it'd be really cool to do. Yeah, if those people were involved in live action, seems the stop motion is a good idea. That I put originally in my head like a full on like animatronic suit, like old school, CGI like enhanced type stuff. But and then if Rob Schraub's involved, he could even kind of sneak Scud the Disposable Assassin in there somewhere, maybe.
Cameo, that'd be cool.
Yeah, for sure. He could even just walk by one of the vending machines would be awesome.
I was just happy he was able to finish off Scud finally.
Yeah, he poured everything he could into that too. It took him so long, and then he said he only planned for it to be so long, and then he realized, no, I have to do more. And I remember specifically watching a couple videos when he was doing it, and he does everything by hand, like he's totally old school. So even like all like the halftone dots and stuff, he was like adding. It was like he would have a sheet where you'd put the sheet on the thing, and then it would come off. So he would like do like a scraping almost kind of a thing. Yeah, he's an amazing artist, and since he's been doing more stuff, so he moved on to do Sarah Silverman program, and he worked on Community and the Mindy Project stuff. So he's pretty well established. So
yeah, that's awesome.
I think that would be that'd be amazing.
I'm trying to figure out who would want to be Jim,
right?
Because I mean, you can go different routes. Like you could have like what's his name, guy who played the Tick.
Patrick Warburton.
Yeah. You could do that, but it also doesn't seem very Jim-like,
Right.
It's got to have more like I don't know. He's got
to be able to hit pretty high-pitched notes.
Yeah. See,
especially for the groovy part.
Yeah.
I always think of Bruce Campbell when I think of Earthworm Jim.
That's a good point.
I could see that.
He might be like too old to pull it off. Like I don't know if his voice might sound too old for it, but
yeah, he could do zany if he wanted to. I mean,
yeah, or Mark Hamill.
Yeah, Mark Hamill can definitely do it. He could do pretty much anything.
Yeah, I mean, he can still hit the Joker at his age. Like he could easily do some Earthworm Jim variation.
Okay, Mark Hamill needs to be involved. At least, but I think him being Psycho might be interesting.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Yeah, you're right.
There's so many villains that would be just great.
Yeah, I mean, and that's another thing. You can have so many cameos from people just doing little voices and stuff, and motion capture, that stuff.
It'd be cool if they had a lot of like video game voice actors, like David Hayter and Nolan North, like all these guys who or Jennifer Hale, like all these people who have been doing video voice actors for years, involved. That'd be awesome.
I wonder who did his voice originally, like for the cartoon and stuff.
Well, for the video game, I'm pretty sure it was Doug TenNapel did the voice, and then for the cartoon, it was I never can pronounce his name correctly, but it's the guy that does Homer, Dan Castellaneta.
Dan Castellaneta.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Oh yeah.
I could totally see that. That works perfectly.
Huh. Never thought of that.
Yeah, he could totally do that.
That's cool.
I'm game. Yeah,
sure.
I like it. Earthworm Jim live action. I'm sold on it.
Produced by Guillermo del Toro and directed by Rob Schraub.
There we go. Myles, so you had one already too.
I did. Pirates of Darkwater.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the most underrated cartoons of all time to me, and speaking of Del Toro, I would love to see him get his hands on that, because you had all that weird, like Lovecraftian, like dark water, and the different character designs for the pirates and Nibbler and all the different creatures. Like he would just rock the shit out of that. And it's a show that I have been championing for so long, and no one fucking cares about it at all. I think the writer was somehow involved with Titan AE, because I remember hearing from someone that was his way of kind of completing that story in a way. But I can't. Don't quote me on that. But yeah,
that's another underrated movie, by the way. I love Titan AE.
Oh yeah, Joss Whedon wrote that.
Yep,
or directed that.
Did he really? Holy shit!
Yeah,
he wrote it. Yeah,
I did not know this.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Well, he script doctored the shit out of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's clearly his movie, and it's a really good movie. It's just it was super underrated at the time. Like it didn't perform very well, even though it had a fun soundtrack and a good voice cast.
Yeah.
But I think it was one of the first ones to use hand drawn and CGI at the same time.
Really?
Yep.
But yeah, Pirates of Darkwater has been a long time favorite, and I feel like that of all the shows that I've like popped out of this like retro revival. That's the one that I've been waiting on someone to grab is Pirates of Darkwater, and no one has yet.
Man, yeah, maybe one day. That is such a great show, but I'll do you one better on a show that no one gives a shit about anymore.
Okay.
Dino-Riders, I think I think that would make an amazing live action.
Well, wasn't Chris Pratt basically Dino-Rider in the last Jurassic Park movie?
Right.
Exactly. So it's just a step up from there.
I think if they did that, they should make reference basically like make it look like shitty VHS, like make it look like an 80s like movie, and like you could go full on like CG,
like that Kung Fury thing.
Kung Fury,
Yes.
Yeah,
have
give
you
it that
seen
treatment.
this movie Turbo Kid?
Uh-uh.
It's this indie film. It blew up at Sundance, and the description is basically as such. Some writer, some genius somewhere was like, "This is what the show is, or the film is. Imagine a 10-year-old that was obsessed with Mega Man, saw Mad Max for the first time, and made a film.
Nice.
It is set in the future of 1997, and it looks like a post-apocalyptic from the 80s.
Nice.
Like, it looks like a Mega Man movie was made in the 80s, set in, like, Snake Plissken's 97, and it just looks ridiculously amazing.
What is it called again?
It's called Turbo Kid.
Turbo Kid.
And the font of the film even looks like a bastardization of, like, the RoboCop font and Silverhawks.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And, yeah, if that's the route you want to go, like, check out that film, because it looks fucking amazing.
Check that out.
Those look
I
great.
didn't mean to, like, hijack your suggestion.
Derail. By the way, Turbo Kids. No, that looks amazing. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks ridiculous. And I've been telling everyone about this film since I heard about it. It comes out, I think, theatrically in August, finally.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be like in theaters and stuff?
Yeah, so it's probably a limited release, but
Okay.
yeah, it's going to be a theatrical release in August. Probably VOD that month, too.
Cool.
But-
We've got like an indie film theater a few blocks away. I've never been to it, but they always have like anything at Sundance and stuff like that. All the stuff you never hear of is always there. So
Yeah, when we were up there one time, we had to go to a stupid wedding, so we couldn't go see it. But Troll Hunter was out in limited theaters, and there was that
nice.
theater up there.
Oh, nice.
That's
I
a
really
great-
wanted to go see it up there. We didn't have time.
So cool.
Yeah, the one that I was surprised that got a national theatrical release was It Follows, which ended up being like one of my favorite horror films of the last decade, because that was great. But I'm a big horror movie person, so.
Me too, man. We did a review on that. My main group for the movie podcast that I do. If we did movie podcasts, we could do it too, guys. But we do nerdy stuff, so let's keep going with that.
You still differentiate between them and us.
So were you a fan of It Follows?
Yeah, we really liked it. All of us were kind of blown away because we came in really with no expectations. I didn't even know what it was about except something following. And essentially that's what it turned out to be. But there's so much more to it. And we just really enjoyed it.
I was blown away that it kept the 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is unheard of for a horror film.
Yeah.
Like, horror films do not do that. But it's... I don't know. I hate overselling that movie because when you tell someone how great a horror film is, they go in expecting this big scare-a-thon, and, like, you can't do that. But it's very in touch with, like, the old school, like, John Carpenter style of, like, subtle atmospheric filmmaking. The score is amazing.
Yeah.
And
Sounds awesome.
It's one of the best movies I've seen this year.
Yeah, you can't go in expecting a typical horror movie, and that's, I think, what makes it so good is because it's like nothing you've seen, at least nothing recent that you've seen before.
No, I agree completely. It's definitely one of my favorites. So, Dino-Riders, yes.
Oh, Dino-Riders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you do Dino-Riders?
I would say just keep the. You could go low budgety like Kung Fury, or you could even. I think either way it would work, but if we could get like Jurassic Park type CGI in there, I think that would be fucking awesome. Because seeing just the big skull cap on the T-Rex's head alone would just make my day or make my life. Like, that would be awesome to see live action. Someone or Krulos riding on top of that shit, and then it had no substance to it. It was just made to sell toys, and this could do the same thing. But I just want to see it. Like, I just want to see it live action. I don't care what the story is.
Don't sell it short, because most cartoons that we loved growing up were made to sell toys.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
Transformers was only made to sell toys, you know?
Yeah, and He-Man.
Hasbro took two different Japanese toy things they bought and went, write a story, figure it out. Yeah, He-Man was the same way. Turtles was the same way.
Yep.
Well, Turtles started as a comic, so they obviously sold a shit ton of toys, but that one...
It was at the same time. It was like Playmates and them were developing it. Yeah.
Although I had every one of those fucking toys, like the Donatello with the goofy glasses and the trench coat and the hat.
Yeah,
that was the best. That's the best one. That is the best turtle. I don't care about any of the Turtles figure except for that one.
The best ones are the Universal Studio Monster ones. Those sets were
we know
great.
you love those.
Oh, those were fantastic.
Yes,
was
right.
Leonardo
good.
Dracula?
Leonardo was Dracula.
Leonardo?
Yep, I think so.
Yeah.
Do you remember
I had that.
some toys where it was like some of the characters that usually weren't like anthropomorphic turned anthropomorphic, like April O'Neil became like a cheetah or something like that? Do you remember that?
It was the same flip technology they used for those Power Rangers toys where you flip the heads and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the same thing.
Funny you just
What were
mentioned.
those calls? What are they called? Mutations? Is that what they called?
Yeah, because they had one like a Taka and Razar from the Ninja Turtles 2.
Second.
They were transformed back into like animals. Yeah.
Right.
Do you remember the figures from that film where they all had that weird they were realistic,
Like
but they were
rubbery.
leathery,
They're kind of creepy.
Yeah.
You could take all the limbs off too, so I would like mix and match the limbs.
Oh wow. No one else
they had
did that.
weird substance to them, like they were like a leathery kind of like.
Yeah.
And they look like they had liver spots. Like
Yeah.
They just look like mini versions of the suits they were wearing. I don't know. I kind of dug it, but they didn't stand up for shit because they were all rubbery and weird.
If you're talking
Those
liver
suits are
spots,
awesome.
then the third movie, that movie, they were all covered.
Progressively, just
Yeah, they just got disgusting and they looked so cheap.
Well, we were just looking at pictures of what was the TV show that they did of Ninja Turtles?
Oh, Next Mutation.
Next Mutation. Yeah.
Those look like somebody painted some garbage bags green and stuck them over their face.
They were awful, and that was a primetime show, I think.
Yeah, it was horrible.
The premiere was at least. I mean, they were really trying to ride on that. Because they did Saban or whatever, the same company that did Power Rangers. They were really trying to just
they crossed over
right on those coattails. Yeah, and they crossed over. Yeah,
my
and it's
God.
the weirdest fucking thing ever.
And then they had the Lost Turtle sister.
Oh,
Suddenly.
Venus de Milo.
Yeah.
Dude, Chris, it's funny you mentioned.
Go ahead.
It's funny you mentioned April O'Neil turning into a cheetah because I just was looking at old cartoons on YouTube, and there actually is an episode where April O'Neil turns into a cat.
Oh, really?
It's all cat-like.
Was it a cat or a fox?
That must
It was
be
a
where
cat.
it came from.
Because she was like, meow.
Okay.
And,
okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
honestly, it was
remember that
super erotic. It was
Super erotic.
I've never been so turned on by a cat.
yeah, it was kind of
super erotic.
It was kind of weird. Like, if I was a parent at that time and was watching my kid watch that, I'd be like, "You're not watching this episode." It was kind of weird. It made me feel funny.
She's like licking herself.
Obscure cartoons.
Yeah, man, it was. She was like doing cat poses and like crawling on the floor and like Joseph, you mentioned them like painting over her cleavage. Like they did it even more, like because she was always bent over on like half of the shots. So like all of a sudden she was wearing a shirt like way up to her neck.
That's awkward.
That's hilarious.
It was weird.
Chris, before I bring up another cartoon, what's yours?
I'm gonna go with an anime, and I'm gonna go with Cowboy Bebop because I've always wanted to see that get the live action treatment.
You know, Keanu Reeves was temporarily cast as Spike, right?
Yeah, I would love to see a live action without Keanu Reeves having anything to do with it.
I will go to bat for Keanu Reeves, but not for that role.
Right. He's had too many similar roles for that, I think.
Have you seen John Wick?
I haven't, no, but I've heard very.
I'm going to, but I haven't either yet.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Bebop would be awesome. I feel like we kind of got that with the Firefly show.
Yeah.
A little bit, but I would be absolutely down for that. But would you want an American cast or would you want it to be like a Japanese film?
I'm really not sure. I since I don't know very many Japanese actors, so I wouldn't be able to name one. But you know what? I think maybe a mix. of some American, some Japanese. Like, I think having a Japanese kid for shit, I forgot the girl's name all of a sudden.
Ed.
Would be awesome. I think that would be good. Especially if like you could never like understand like what she's saying because she's just so like out there and crazy. I'm not sure who I'd want to play some of the characters though. I kind of like Charlie Hunnam for Spike, the guy from, if you've seen Sons of Anarchy, Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
He's got like the voice from the anime like dead on, and I feel like
I could see that.
He's been in shows before.
For it, though.
He's been in shows before where he's got shorter, really curly hair like that. So I think he could pull it off. I think it'd be really cool, and he could definitely do like some martial arts and shit like that. So whether he can carry like that kind of story though, I'm not sure. He'd have to go like super like noir for that. So
who do you want to direct it?
I was kind of thinking Josh Trank, honestly. I really like the way he handles characters and how he handles like sci-fi and stuff like that. So, I mean, I guess, you know, we'll see how Fantastic Four is and see how he does with that. But like, I mean,
I'm looking forward to it, honestly.
Yeah, I think it'll be awesome. I mean, Chronicle is like one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah,
I think
it already
Chronicle's
looks better than the fucking first two Fantastic Four.
Well, let's be honest. We can watch paint dry for 2 hours. It'd be better than
piles of shit. Like, and who was that director? Like, just why would you hire someone that just doesn't give a shit about comic books whatsoever?
Who was that? Was that Tony Scott?
This is gonna sound racist, but some black guy.
Why would you even say that?
Why would you?
Of course,
say
it
that?
sounds racist.
I just remember looking at what else he's directed, and I was like, what? Like, it just didn't make it.
Terrible.
Like, Tim's Story, I think. Hold on.
Oh yeah, no, it was. I think it was Tim's Story. He was supposed to do the Warriors remake, and that fell apart.
Don't remake that shit either. Jesus Christ. The movie's perfect the way it is.
Yeah, but you know what? The Rockstar game, where it added all that backstory, was fucking amazing.
Really?
Did you ever play it?
No, I haven't played that.
Yeah, Tim Story also directed the Queen Latifah Jimmy Fallon wow.
Taxi.
Jimmy Fallon Taxi, which was a remake of a French film, and the people who've actually seen the French film went, ugh, why? He also did Barbershop, the famous, Ice Cube, Cedric the Entertainer, black comedy.
Whatever happened to Cedric the Entertainer? He's not entertaining anymore. I never see him.
No, he was Chris Rock movie, Top 5.
Yeah.
Oh, was he?
It's funny, I always get him and Bernie Mac confused, and I can't remember which one died.
Oh.
Bernie Mac died.
Yeah.
He died after Mr. What was it? Mr. 3000 or something like that?
Yeah, Mr. 3000. No, he did that movie with, oh shit, what's his name? Samuel Jackson, I think.
Did he?
They were like old rivals, or they were, what was that movie called? Okay, it came out after he died, though.
Oh, really?
They were in post-production when he died.
I'm not saying that black comedies are they're not for me, obviously, but like they're usually pretty formulaic, and to have someone do like a comic book movie from the outside didn't make sense to me, and then obviously what we got kind of lent to that. Yeah. So Josh Trank's gonna do a better job, but at the same time, it's still Fox, and I still wish that they would have let the rights get back to Marvel. So
one of these days, I'm hoping that since Marvel's like not gonna bring the Fantastic Four back as a comic,
that's such
eventually,
a dick move too.
Hoping eventually, like Fox will kind of like maybe that'll impact things, and they'll kind of lose interest and just let them have it back.
And well, I mean, the Fantastic Four as a comic has not been selling super hot in the last couple decades anyway. Like, they couldn't blackball the X-Men because you can't not have the X-Men.
Right, yeah.
I mean, they killed off Wolverine, I think, in response to not having, the rights, but you can't just not have the X-Men. Fantastic Four, they're like, we'll cut our losses.
Well, they're keeping, like, the best characters. So, like, Johnny Storm and Ben Grimm are going to be in new stuff. They haven't said anything involving Reed Richards or Sue Storm, which I'm okay with. I don't care about either.
No one cares about characters at all.
There's never been a time where someone asked a little kid, "Who's your favorite superhero?" and they said Mr. Fantastic.
I'd rather Plastic Man,
Right?
Oh God.
One more obscure cartoon for you. Bucky O'Hare.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be so much fun. I don't know about live action, but either animatronic or stop motion. But that cartoon got no love.
I loved it.
I was a huge fan of it. Yeah, back in the day, and the game is hard as shit.
I used to have a bunch of action figures.
Yeah, I had a ton of those toys. I remember that duck with 4 arms or something.
Yeah, duck. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you had Jenny, who was the cat lady, who you might be into, because you're into.
Oh man. No, I know. Yeah, cats.
She was a telepathic cat. Yeah.
Nice. No, and keep Larry Hama involved with that shit too, because he's still a genius. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No, but you just saying that really made me remember how much I want to see a Thundercats live action too.
Oh yeah.
You know, they just can't handle that property properly, because Cartoon Network had that really great show, and they just decided, you know what?
Didn't last long at all.
Yeah, 2 seasons, but they do that because Young Justice lasted 2 seasons, and that was one of the best comic book shows I've ever seen. And Green Lantern lasted 1. He-Man lasted 2, I think, as well.
Something like that, yeah. I really like the design. I didn't see that, but I really like those designs. I like the way they did that.
I like the Thundercats because they actually wrote it seriously. It was almost like they got Greg Weisman from Gargoyles to be like, all right, let's do this, you know?
Gargoyles, shit, that's another one.
Oh yeah, Myles, your podcast just did something on
Yeah, we did.
Gargoyles.
Yeah, we just did Gargoyles, actually.
Which
was fun to go back and revisit, because Greg Weisman's responsible for so many amazing shows that he's doing the first season of Star Wars Rebels.
Nice.
And but he did Young Justice, and he's done a ton of other shit. But yeah, he started with Gargoyles, and that was a damn good show.
Yeah, right. I wish that was on streaming somewhere, because I haven't watched it in so long.
I think it's on YouTube, but
it is on YouTube, but it's all
best quality.
It's not. But it's $10 a season right now. So
probably get on Amazon or something, right?
Yeah.
But back to Cowboy Bebop, I think Ryuhei Kinemura would be a good director. He did Godzilla Final Wars and Versus.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you've seen either of those films at all. Versus is one of the most fun Japanese genre movies you're ever going to see, because it changes genres every 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And it's fucking crazy. And he did Midnight Meat Train.
Nice.
The Clive Barker adaptation. Yeah.
What do you think of Ben Foster as Vicious? I like that idea.
I'm down with that. I think he's a very, very good actor who just
Ben Foster could do. I'm not super familiar with Cowboy Bebop, but Ben Foster needs more. He just needs more, period.
He's such an underrated actor.
Yeah. Yeah, Vicious is pretty much the main kind of bad guy. He's in the background a lot, head of
he's the Virgil to Spike's Dante.
Yeah, basically. He's he is what his name is. He's absolutely vicious. He's the scariest motherfucker in their universe, pretty much. So
yeah,
I think Ben Foster playing something like that would be amazing.
I'd be all right with that.
I've been saying for years that Ben Foster needs to either be Psycho Mantis in a Metal Gear adaptation, or
I
know, if they did an Infamous movie, he needs to be Cole.
Nice.
Sure.
I like that you knock on wood for that. It'll happen now.
I picked up my beer and I realized it was empty. I was like, oh.
No, I like Ben Foster a lot. I think he's a very underrated actor. I actually remember starting to watch him when he did that Disney show, Flash Forward.
Oh, yeah.
Did you ever watch that? Yeah.
Yep.
With Jewel Staite from Firefly.
Yeah.
He has a great cameo in Freaks and Geeks, too.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
He's great in that.
I haven't seen that since...
He's obsessed with Three's Company.
So, who do you want to play Jet?
That one's kind of hard, because I'm trying to go for someone that looks like him. And
you're going to have to just... someone to make up.
The actor that I think looks like him the most, I think, is too old to do it now. And I can't remember the guy's name, but he was... He was in the X-Files for the longest time. Not the two main characters, but the other guy that was always working on the case files and stuff like that. That was always kind of in the background. What was this guy's name? gonna have to look him up real quick so I can.
I don't remember.
Make sure I'm not talking out of.
Are you talking about the guy who wore glasses and stuff?
That guy, yes. If
Yeah.
you've seen him in like his like later years, he kind of looks the part, which I think would be really cool. But let's try and find his name.
How do you feel about Dwayne Johnson?
Dwayne Johnson? Maybe, I don't know. Like, I mean, he's a big buff dude.
Which Jet is.
Yeah.
I mean, if you just like give him some the little sideburns and shit, like I think he could pull it off.
I think if they made him look a little bit older, like I like the idea of Jet being like an older guy, like
Well, he's like what, 40?
He's supposed to be only like 40 something, but in the cartoons they make him look like old as shit. Like he looks like he's on his way out to like.
Dwayne Johnson's like 40, isn't he?
Probably.
Yeah, he's in his 40s, for sure.
Mitch Pileggi is the actor.
Yeah,
that was the name of the guy.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
that he was their boss.
Yeah, that guy.
And then he was the host of the Fox show where they would have the masked magician tell you how they did magic tricks. Which I watched. That was seriously. That was when I was the most in the magic too. Like,
wait, was he Skinner?
Yeah, he was Skinner.
Oh man.
Yeah, he's nowhere near buff enough for that role.
He would have to. Like I said, I think he's too old for it. But
yeah, he would die.
He would
die preparing for that role.
I just like the face and everything. I always just picture that. I was like, yeah, man, if that dude was a little younger than he is now, I was like, that dude would be awesome. But I was trying to think. I had one more guy in mind, but now I lost it. So, but as long as it was like a older, gruff kind of dude, I think it would be awesome.
Who do you have in mind for Faye?
For Faye, that one was one that I could never figure out because like I would throw names out there and then immediately be like, no.
You know who could play her? She'd have to do makeup stuff, but Jennifer Lawrence.
She could actually see that.
She could play that.
I could see that. Maybe even what's her name? Maria Hill from Avengers. What was the lady that played her?
Oh, Chloe Smothers. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see her as Faye. I think she'd be good at it. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Maybe. I'm trying to imagine it because I mean, Faye's just a weird character.
She is. Yeah, she's kind of a conundrum. So.
Do you have any shows you want to adapt to film?
Yeah, I was gonna say even moving out of like shows or anime, maybe video games. Is there any like adaptation that you guys have thought like a lot about that you almost have like nearly written in your head? That's not only just a cartoon because I think about that stuff
hasn't been adapted ever, or
it hasn't been adapted yet.
Okay.
I don't think I've got any.
I think as much as like Legend of Zelda would be great, like I always think about Metroid like all the time. Like if they made that into,
so who's your Samus?
Gwendolyn Christie.
Oh shit.
That's a good choice. I have thought a lot about Zelda, but I mean it's been too long. Like because the kid who I would have cast as Zelda is too old now. Did you ever watch the 2003 Peter Pan?
I've seen a poster for it, but never.
He would have been the perfect Link.
Really?
He looked like Link. And
can he roll and go yeah? And that's his only.
That's the thing is, we actually have to have Link talk and not be "Excuse me, princess."
Well, he has to say that at least once, just as a callback.
Just like yes, absolutely. It
would be good.
I think I cast the Zelda film back in like 2003 because I had the chick who played Helen of Troy from Troy as Zelda. But this was back in like 2000.
Oh yeah, she looks the part.
She would have been perfect. And I had Jude Law as Ganondorf, based off the Wind Waker design.
Oh, okay. I can kind of see it. You have to probably like beef up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. But he had that whole like kind of like regal but super evil kind of thing. Like think like him in AI, but buffer.
Or like Sky Captain of the World of Tomorrow.
I love it. I fucking love that movie.
And it's one of those things where like I watched it and I went, okay. Like I need to see it again. I think.
It's all spectacle and it's all like the design of the time kind of thing. But
yeah, I get what they were doing. Yeah,
it's superficial as shit, but it's fun.
It's kind of like if they remade the Rocketeer now.
Oh, dude, I was just about to say that. I was waiting for an opening to be like, what if they brought back the Rocketeer?
Dude, I love the Rocketeer. I've been saving to get that Rocketeer omnibus hardcover because I fucking love the Rocketeer.
Yes.
I love that whole like Art Deco neo-noir shit. So
yeah, even the comics are great right now of Rocketeer, so they can't do wrong. Well, they can, but they haven't yet for me.
They can't. They haven't yet. Yeah. I think at one point they were trying to get Breck Eisner to direct in a Rocketeer film, but it fell through.
Yeah. It's an interesting property that I mean, it brings back nostalgia even for a time, even if you weren't around, you know? Like, we all kind of have that idea of, like, that World War II, you know, glossy.
I saw the movie in theaters.
Nice.
I remember loving that movie. I remember when it came out and my parents, you know, rented it on VHS, and I was like, shit, yeah! Like, super excited.
I think that's a movie that would really hold up for kids also.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I remember when they made the game for NES, I went to Blockbuster every fucking week, and it was always rented for like 2 months. And it killed me. And then I finally played the game, and it was garbage.
I had the Tiger handheld LCD game.
Tiger handheld.
Which were all
and
garbage.
And then I got rid of it, and then I found it, and now I have it again.
I had the Tiger handheld Mega Man 2, and that was an experience.
I had a Tiger handheld X-Men game, and I think you were Wolverine.
Yes, you're Wolverine. I think Storm?
Yeah.
Or something?
Maybe Cyclops too, because I remember beams or something. Like, not beams, just like little bloop, bloop.
I actually
bloop.
remember that too.
Yeah.
I don't think I had
those games were such bullshit.
Yeah.
They were.
I hate the Tiger games.
They were. The only one I think I ever owned was the Batman Returns.
Jim.
Oh, yeah. I did have that one.
So.
Jim has all of
them. I got Sonic 2.
Oh, shit.
Sonic 2.
That's amazing.
Jim collects all the old stuff. Double Dragon. Oh,
I had Double Dragon. I definitely had Double Dragon.
The one I loved the most was the Batman Returns one, but I don't have that one
He
anymore.
was just talking about it.
That, yeah.
Oh, nice. The Talking Street Fighter 2.
Oh, shit.
That one's pretty cool.
That's awesome. I didn't even know that existed.
Takes like 8 batteries.
Nice.
Paperboy 2.
2 batteries.
Wow.
Nice.
For anybody,
I had the Rocketeer one. I didn't see it.
For anybody not watching the video, Jim's holding them all up. So watch the video.
I'll probably cut
Check
that
it out.
part out for the audio. Lion King. I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
And I got Rocketeer over there somewhere, and I thought I had a Mega Man one, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, I was saying I have Mega Man 2 somewhere.
You know, Mega Man is one of my favorite characters. I think that was a cartoon at one point also. So for me, that would be something I would like to see adapted into live action in some form.
That would go well.
Yes.
Nice.
Mega Man.
I love it.
Here we are.
Rockman.
So, do you guys think we should get to the next part?
I think so. I think we can. I think we can transition.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I could talk about what I would do.
Jim's gonna play his
a big thing about how I would make a Final Fantasy VIII movie. So let's keep
right.
Oh yeah, we got to jump over.
All right, Joseph, tell them what the Nerdocalypse is.
Nerdocalypse is where we pit 2 or more, sometimes, individual geek figures of any sort, really, from any media against one another and see who comes out on top. But now we've started doing it, and I think we're going to continue this, where one of us has to be devil's advocate, even if we don't agree with it, we don't like, said individual, we have to be on their side, and we have to push for them. Last time that was me. It may still be me again. I don't know how it's going to work exactly, or what Chris's plan is.
Okay. Who do we want? Well, Jimmy, you had to judge it last time.
Yeah.
Joseph, do you want to judge it, or do you want to participate?
I'll participate. I like it.
Okay, I'll judge this one then. And Myles, you get to either join a side or you can argue for both, whatever you want to do.
All right.
So, we're gonna make the announcement. The actual match will be in Part B, which will be, if you're watching or listening to this, will come out next week. And our our fighters are
who do I get?
This is always ridiculous. Jim, you have E.T. the extraterrestrial.
Oh man.
And Joseph,
Yeah.
you have Bowser.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Okay, hold on.
This is gonna be a short match.
Do either one of you guys need to re-roll this thing?
I need to reroll ET.
You want to re-roll E.T.?
Anything.
I'll keep Bowser. Yeah.
You keep
Yeah.
Bowser? Okay, we're going to re-roll for E.T. Jim, you have Professor Albus Percival Wulfric Brian Dumbledore.
Great.
Professor Dumbledore from Harry Potter.
Perfect. Okay.
Versus Bowser. You good?
I've personally beat Dumbledore in a duel. So
You can tell that story in the next
they've heard that story. I'll tell Myles in the break.
Okay. So that will be part B. So that'll be next week.
Chris, I thought Joseph was hosting this show.
Yeah, but he's being so quiet over there.
I'm waiting.
Joseph, what's next?
You
What do
just
we
keep
do?
talking. Okay, so for part B, it's gonna be Dumbledore versus Bowser, apparently.
Perfect.
And this has been Nerds on Tap, part 1, part A.
Jim wants to make an announcement.
Oh, Jim,
Plus we gotta talk
why am I
about-
talking
yeah.
then?
I don't know. I
Go,
thought
Jim.
you knew what was going on. No, I just wanted
I
to...
lose track.
That's fine. So because we've kind of been dipping in and out of some board game related content, I kind of decided that we should have kind of a dedicated show for board games because that's kind of what I'm into. So I'm working on episode 1 of a kind of a spin-off show / podcast called Board Nerds. And it's kind of, like I said, it just kind of, we keep talking to people that develop board games, and we're kind of, I'm starting to play test new games, and we actually had, someone nice enough to give us games to review and stuff. So we're going to have some more board game related topics coming up, but because we are having so much of it, I figured, what the heck, let's make a show. So if you like exploding dice and metal music and board games, you should definitely check it out. It's going to be awesome.
I like it. And we actually made an announcement a few weeks ago that there was going to be a spin-off show, and that actually wasn't it.
Yeah,
that one just kind of came about too. So there will be another spin-off show, but we can't announce that yet.
Yeah, we're spinning all over the place.
We'll get there. Just wanted to thank some people on social media real quick that have been following us and tweeting us and stuff. So in the last couple of weeks, Mandy O, which we actually talked to a couple times this week. So thanks, Mandy O. At Cyanide, I think, is her Twitter handle. So awesome. Geeks with Wives and Capes, that's another podcast. Both of those two are podcasts, so you should check their stuff out. Nicole Wakeland, Game and Magic, Leanna Masculini, I probably butchered your name. What's a Podcast Movie, Robbed of Sleep, Megaton City, James Jackson. Thank you guys. All followers on Twitter. So thanks. You're on our episode, so...
Feels
listen to our
special.
show.
Thanks, guys.
That's all I got. Joseph, if you are ready to
All right.
take us out.
Well, yeah, this has been Nerds on Tap. I'm Joseph.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jim.
And I helped.
Thanks for jumping in with us, Myles.
Thanks. Drink like a nerd, guys.
Cheers, nerds. Is that what it used to be?
Yeah, that's one of our catchphrases.
Oh, we have tons, I guess.
Sorry about the last episode.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Alfred, I need information from the back computer.
Ah, Master Bruce. How goes the raid on Arkham?
I have these names, Chris, Jim, and Joseph. They call themselves Nerds on Tap.
It says here, sir, that they can be found on Twitter at nerds_on_tap and on Facebook and iTunes. They even have a YouTube channel with all the episodes as well as other content. I'm watching it right now. It's nerdy, but quite good, sir.
These three need to be brought to justice. I will rid Gotham of their nerdiness. I am vengeance. I am the night. I am the Batman.